Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa. If you are new here, your favorite problematic housewife. Oh, do I have a exciting video for you guys today. We're talking about Dad Challenge podcast because a magazine called Input Magazine did an article about the Dad Challenge podcast. Oh yes, they did, and we're gonna go over it. So please make sure you're subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up and let's get into it. So a while back, a writer named Jessica Lucas, which is who wrote this article, reached out to me and wanted to do an interview about the Dad Challenge podcast. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. Like, what do you want to talk about? This is exciting. This is gaining traction. People are recognizing the problem with Josh, and I was all for it. She also interviewed a apoc, another channel, and Sincerely Sharon. I will link their channels down below. I didn't know at the time who else was being interviewed, but I figured that other creators were also reached out to talk about the situation. So after she reached out to me, this is Jessica Lucas, I will leave this site down below, which has all her articles. I realized that she does cover online communities and influencer culture. So, I had to do my own due diligence. My friend also looked up to see, is this legit? And I was like, wow, she's actually legit. She does a lot of different articles and things like that about influencers and YouTubers. So it made sense to me why she was interested in the Dad Challenge podcast. So I did an interview with her. She asked me a bunch of questions, and here we are at the article. I think she did a really good job, and I want to go over it with you. And Josh is very salty about this article coming up, about this article being put out. And you guys will see why. It's actually pretty funny. But let's get right into it, and let's go over what's in this article. So this is the cover, and it says, critics say YouTube's Dad Challenge podcast has gone too far. Host Joshua Barber has been accused of harassing and bullying mommy influencers. He's just festering hate. So the article starts off with Sincerely Sharon, who's a former mommy vlogger. When former mommy vlogger Sharon first found Joshua Barber on YouTube, she was thrilled. She'd been observing the world of family influencers since 2013. When she'd started to vlog about her experiences as a teen mother, she had her first kid at 18, although she gave up her YouTube career to focus on the real world. For 3 years, she had never really stopped watching others in the community. It seemed that Barber had been watching too, and they shared many of the same views. So it makes sense to me why Sharon was one of the people in this article, because she used to be a fan of Josh, she used to be a mommy vlogger, and now she has come to criticize Josh and his tactics and methods. So I think the writer had a reason for everybody that she chose. So here it talks about Sharon posting about the ethical issues in mommy vlogging on her channel, and her initial impression of Josh was that he had good intentions, that he was pretty much fighting a good cause that she could get behind. She has more than 5,000 subscribers, and we did all ask, at least I know I did, and it looks like they did too, to have our names not be put in it because doxing is a problem in the community, unfortunately. He was drawing the light to a very important conversation that needed to be had. Josh is at nearly 120,000 subscribers and seemed to be a staunch advocate for the protection of social media stars, like children on social media. And I know Sharon has always had an interesting perspective on all this because she is mostly against mommy vlogging, family vlogging. She does do videos about it, and she was a fan of Josh. But in recent times, she has come to criticize his methods, like I said, and his tactics. But she still does kind of share a lot of the same viewpoints he does. So that's why it was really interesting to see how she started off getting behind his cause, and then she kind of moved away from that because of what Josh has been doing. And that's the thing. with this movement, people are not going to get behind it because he is so problematic. You cannot have a cause like saving the children, fighting child exploitation, and you are this problematic and doing these horrible things to people. It just doesn't work. Anyway, let's continue. So Barber spoke about the importance of asking kids for consent when filming them, and called out mommy vloggers for problematic behavior like referring to their children as their employees or shaming other women over their approach to motherhood. Now, that's really interesting that he shames other women by he shames other women who shame other women. Yet he shames women, he mom shames, he body shames, and it's crazy that he's calling out the problematic behavior of mommy vloggers when his behavior is 100 times worse than all of the family vloggers put together, in my opinion. He even examined analytics to shine a light on exactly who was watching family vloggers, namely a sizable cohort of middle-aged men, and why that could be, in his opinion, dangerous. I'm going to link a video down below from lollz. She debunked his analytics bullshit narrative that he's been pushing, and we really need to do, me or another creator has to do another video, maybe talk to somebody from Social Book or something like that, because he is really pushing the analytics, and a lot of people side with him because of that, and he's full of shit. He is not accurate and he misrepresents. Sharon could have never guessed that she'd become one of Barber's biggest critics, but this was before the alleged bullying began. Sharon is one of a number of concerned mommy vlogger commentators who have spoken out about Barber. He stands accused of harassing and bullying mommy influencers, spreading misogynistic viewpoints, and weaponizing his followers against critics, and he does all those things. I also want to note that every single thing that was claimed in this article, the magazine editor-writer has seen the proof, the links, all the receipts. They have links posted within this article, so you can go check for yourselves of the original video, except one, and I'm going to show the clips of a video they said that he deleted, but I do have the clip of that. But they have shown proof. They would not have written this article and said the things they said if there was not receipts and facts. So for the people that argue, you're just making stuff up, you're a hater, you're a detractor, this is a legit established magazine that did their research, saw the proof, and they are saying what they are saying because it's a fact. It's not an opinion. The only opinion is, are you okay with what he's doing or not? It's not a matter of, is he doing these things? It's, are you going to look past it, or are you going to wake up and see that he's problematic? Barber's tactics have sparked outrage and concern among the mommy vlogger commentary community, which has produced hundreds of videos about the controversial influencer. His critics are worried that if left unchecked, he could bring real-world harm to the people he targets, and he already has. So, although many believe that Barber's channel started out with good intentions, his focus changed over time. Around a year ago, his content shifted to covering parenting influencer scandals, like the one surrounding mommy vlogger Micah Stauffer failed adoption, which ended with the influencer returning her adopted child Huxley because she couldn't take care of his needs. A lot of people do agree and think that Josh started out with good intentions, but in my personal opinion, I don't think that he did. I do think he was upset over the Micah Stauffer thing. Many people were. Obviously, that was a very sad situation, but I do have empathy for them in the fact that it was made so public, and they've been harassed and stalked ever since. And regardless of what you feel about that family, they have children and they deserve to be offline if that's what they choose to do. Micah is not online anymore, and he is still harassing her, stalking her pregnancy, said he was going to picket in front of their house. They have children that they need to take care of, and they still need to move on with their lives. So the way Josh is just continuously coming after them is not okay, in my opinion. I think he saw the views and attention he was getting from the Micah Stauffer situation and the way his audience is. They love to outrage, they love to go after people, and he was like their hype man, hyping people up, making people angry, making things get dangerous. And that's one of the reasons he's such a problem, in my opinion. While many commentators on the mommy vlogging world spoke out about the Stauffer scandal, they were horrified by what they saw as Barber's excessive response. At first, he went after the Stauffers. In one video, which remains on his channel today, Barber threatens to picket the Stauffers' house in response to Huxley's rehoming, asks for help paying for a private investigator to track down and look into Huxley's new family, and repeatedly tells his fans it's time to plan action and go to the next level. Micah Stauffer did not respond to Input Magazine. He did take things to the next level, his critics allege. He found Huxley's new family on Instagram, even though they're not like influencers or anything, says APOC, a 32-year-old mommy vlogging commentator and entrepreneur from Oregon, and more than 7,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. Then he said that if she doesn't take Huxley offline, it's going to be a problem. So you see, the things that are being said in this article have been proven. The editor and writer has seen all of these clips, the original videos, have seen all the evidence to the stuff that they're talking about. So that means that it's a fact. It's not an opinion. These things actually happened. And they link videos and sources in this article as well. In a since deleted YouTube video that has been preserved by another YouTuber, Barber ranted about how the family should stop posting Huxley's images to their private Instagram account. He claimed that he'd made this request of Huxley's new parents so many times that they had to block him. That's really, really interesting that he privated that video. But guess what? I still have the clip, and I'm going to show you to remind you guys right now.
Person who has H right now, I keep reaching out to her on Instagram because she's using him on her Instagram, and I'm like, please don't, and she keeps blocking me, which I almost, like, I get it, but at the same time, lady, I know you're probably watching this stuff. Stop putting H on the internet. Stop doing it. Why is it that H always falls into a family of people, of narcissists who want to Instagram everything? Stop it. Especially if you foster and adopt, stop putting this kids on the internet. Stop it. Again, this lady, you know what H came from. You know what happened to that kid. Why would you keep putting him on the internet? So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm not going to tell you where to go. But I'm pissed because she keeps ignoring me. And I wasn't rude to her. I just said, hey, like, just so you're aware, you know what H came from. Can you please, please, please find it in your heart not to put him on your channel. Please. And she just blocks me. So trust me, this lady. You don't want the people who are for H to come after you to be doing stupid stuff. Like, H, this thing stirred so many people and stirred compassion in people, stirred anger in people. Why would you consistently put him back on the internet? It doesn't make sense.
It's very clear. He knows. This is the manipulation. He said the Stauffer situation stirred anger in people, stirred compassion in people, and he capitalized off that. He exploited people's anger and rage over the Stauffers to get views and money and to grow his channel, and that is why he's disgusting. Why did he delete this? Why did he take this off his channel? Maybe because he doesn't want to be responsible if anything happens, if someone starts stalking and harassing H's new mom. If Josh could find them, anybody can. And these are the levels that he's willing to go to. And obviously the writer and this magazine clearly can see what Josh is doing is not okay. It's not the only time Barber has gone over the line in the eyes of his fellow commentators. He's also targeted influencer Brianna Kay, a mommy vlogger with 426,000 YouTube followers, whose lavish lifestyle he often mocks in his videos. He made a video where he pulled up Brianna's new home on Google Maps, and he was showing the street address and naming major landmarks. Sharon says with all that information, someone could easily go out and find her home. I tried it myself and I found her home in minutes. Brianna Kay did not respond to a request for comments. Although the video in question has since been deleted, the apology Barber issued for it, in which he told his detractors to kiss my ass, is still available on his channel. And let's not forget, he didn't delete it at first. He had to get a ton of backlash Then he blurted out and then finally took it down. But the clip is still on Sincerely Sharon's channel, and I will link that video down below. And I will say this again, as you can see, Josh is claiming this was a hit piece, just haters, which I will show you in a minute, something funny. But as you can see, everything that is being said in this video has been proven. I just really want to show that these are not just things that have been made up to go after Josh, to hate on him, to be a detractor. These are facts that have been proven that he's doing each of these things they are speaking about, and it's not okay. Sharon doesn't buy the creator's half-hearted apologies. He continues to do this, justifies it by saying he apologized, and then it happens again. She says, if you're constantly doing the behavior that you apologize for, it's no good. You're not learning or making a change. Exactly. While Barber's videos have upset many, his critics are more concerned about his efforts to take things off screen. Notably, he has targeted Danielle Cohn, a young TikTok influencer who attracted significant controversy for releasing sexualized content on the platform in 2016. This gets interesting, you guys. Cohn tells Input she is now 18, though her age is widely debated online. Danielle Cohn actually agreed to an interview with Input magazine, and what she said was seriously huge. It's huge in showing what Josh is actually doing to these kids. Let's take a look. According to critics, Barber made it his mission to have Cohn removed from her mother's care. He made a video stating that CPS was called 100 times and was telling his followers to keep doing it, to keep calling, says Marissa, me, a stay-at-home mom of 4 who uses YouTube to advocate for moms on the internet through her YouTube channel, Not Another Housewife. So it says Marissa points Input to a video that Barber posted to YouTube last year, when Cohn was widely assumed to be 15 years old, in which he admits to circulating revealing pictures of the influencer online in order to make fun of her chest tattoos, and later encouraged his followers to call CPS on Cohn to have her removed from her mother's care. Like I said, I know I'm a broken record. They wanted the proof. They wanted to see the facts. So what I was discussing here was when he sent around pictures of her boobs to show her chest tattoo on Facebook to people. He also went on a YouTube video with his 18-year-old son to look at her Instagram of a 13-year-old in lingerie and point out what her body looks like, if she has a reputation, to degrade her. And then he has the nerve to say, oh, she's a victim. He has said horrible things about her. And I want to play the clip really quick of him telling people to call CPS, just to remind everybody what he does.
A family friend that was there from the beginning, who said all this a while ago. Why is nobody listening? Why does CPS do nothing? More CPS, everybody. More CPS intensifies. Call them more. Call them more, and we got to find out legally how we can protect these kids, because clearly CPS can't do shit. Nobody's protecting these kids that are...
Check this out, you guys. This is really crazy and sad. In an interview with Input, Cohn says Barber's actions have worsened her struggles with anxiety. Let's listen to that again. Dad Challenge podcast has worsened Danielle Cohn's struggles with anxiety. I have to deal with cops all the time and child protective services because they think that I'm in an abusive home when I'm not, says Cohn, who has amassed over 20 million followers across her TikTok and YouTube accounts. It's really hard to sit there and get interrogated at such a young age. It was traumatizing for me. First of all, I just want to say that I feel horrible for Danielle being that young, being in the public eye, being sexualized by everybody. While you may think that you are loving it. It can also be hard. All the hate, and I can only imagine being interrogated by CPS all the time. This is huge, you guys. This is huge because this is who Dad Challenge Podcast says is a victim, right? That whole community is saying a victim. Well, the victim is speaking out, and the victim is telling the world that Josh is hurting her, making her life worse, and giving her anxiety. This is proof right here, right out of someone's mouth, right out of a young girl's mouth, that Josh is doing more harm than good. He's doing damage to these kids because he actually doesn't care about them. If he did, he would care about her mental state. He would care about how he's affecting her life, how his stands are affecting her life, how people calling CPS over and over again are traumatizing and hurting her. Really, you can take away all the proof that we have of Josh. This one statement right here is all you need to prove that he is hurting the children that he's claiming are victims and need to be protective. That right there shows his movement is a joke. He's a fraud. He's not doing anything good. And he's only cares about himself, his money, his YouTube channel. And it's absolutely disgusting. If Josh sees this statement from her and doesn't care and continues to do things the way that he does, that shows you that he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care about anything or anybody but himself and his career. This is huge. This is huge, you guys. I feel so bad for this girl. Yes, we can all agree that she's been sexualized too much. Yes, we can all agree that she's too young to be doing the things that she's doing. But you have to look at the risk versus the reward. Are you doing more harm than you're doing good? You have to take all of these things into account when you actually care about helping a situation. If you don't care, then you're going to be like Josh and just be doing whatever the hell you want to get views and attention and use her name. I'm sorry, you guys, but I am getting really fired up about this because it absolutely disgusts me that he is hurting a young girl like this. He hates women. He has said before that she has no talent and she's only good for being in a bikini. She's clearly seen the videos from him about her. So imagine being a young teenage girl already dealing with insecurities, your body is out to the world, and then you have a creepy guy in a basement showing his son your lingerie pictures, showing the world your photos and picking you apart and saying you have no talent, saying you need to be removed from your home. Put yourself in her shoes and then tell me that you would be okay after dealing with this maniac. No girl would. I also wanted to bring up the fact that some people were not happy that Danielle was interviewed. They felt like she's too young, she shouldn't have been on there, but she deserves a voice too. She is a teenager, she's not a toddler. She's allowed to make decisions, have a voice, speak on how she's feeling. There's nothing wrong with that. If she's a victim, the victim should be allowed to speak. And it's very telling to me that the people who claim Danielle is a victim don't want her to use her voice and share how she's feeling because maybe the truth hurts. Maybe they have a guilty conscience because they participated in making her life miserable and they don't want to hear the victim and what she wants and what she has to say. Just saying. Mostly, Cohn wants people to know that influencers like Barber aren't ethical vigilantes, despite their best efforts to appear that way. I feel like people kind of praise them and make them look like they're heroes, but in reality, they're not. She says, they're saying lies about me so they can get their views up. Then I have to deal with all these people harassing me and hating on me. Well said. He is not a vigilante, he's not ethical, he's not a hero, he is nothing but a problem. And it's clear that many people think this at this point. I have always spoken out on my channel about people who use a cause to justify nasty behavior. They use a cause and disguise it by doing nasty things and then say, oh, I'm just saving the kids. These parents are doing this and these parents are doing that. So that makes all of this okay. It's so toxic. It's so manipulative. And it's crazy how he continues to get away with this crap. Critics of Barber charge that he seems motivated by more than a desire to save minors on YouTube. He'll frequently talk about women's hair color, their teeth, their body parts. He'll call them horrible mothers and say they don't care about their children, Marissa says. Me. It's pretty clear he hates single moms. He's actually spoken on his channel before about his trauma from having a single mother. So I think he projects that. In one video, Barber acknowledged his controversial attitude towards women, but said he has improved because he no longer says the word twat when speaking about mommy vloggers. However, in the same clip, he defended his choice to regularly criticize their appearance. I love how there's like a little bit of shade thrown in throughout this article. I love it. Marissa charges that Barber's followers just hate moms on the internet. She adds, he's salty because they are just living their best lives. And it's true. I still stand by that. His audience is extremely bitter about them making money and living their best life and being a mommy influencer. I was talking about this to someone the other day. It's crazy because there's a lot of hate towards moms in general in society. Moms isn't being a job. You're just a housewife. All you do is take care of kids all day. And then there's also a lot of hate towards women in the workforce in general. So when you take a mom that has a career of being a mother and taking care of the house and decorating and cooking and cleaning, that's a recipe for disaster in the sense where people are going to hate so hard because they already hate on women in general. They already hate on moms in general, and women in their careers and in the workforce get hated on in general too. So when you put all that together, I think that's one of the reasons why we see so much hate towards mommy vloggers. Some of Barber's fans, who surprisingly are predominantly female, beg to differ. It's very surprising that they're mostly female, I know. Josh is very strong in his opinions, and some people may find that extreme. Others will say it's passionate, says 46-year-old Canadian fan Renee, who tells Input that she's reported a couple of incidents to CPS. Actions she claims were not influenced by the YouTube post. I believe he has good intentions and is at heart someone who wants to make a positive difference. So here we have a fan coming from their own mouth in an interview that they made a CPS report. And of course they're going to say it wasn't because of Josh, but they clearly watch Josh's channel. They clearly see him telling people to call CPS. This is crazy, and this is the lengths that his fans will go to try to take influencers down, try to take these moms down, try to do what Josh wants them to do. This is why he's a cult leader, one of the reasons. And it's absolutely crazy that these fans are going around calling CPS. It's disgusting. This one was really interesting too. Other fans have more mixed views. Calling CPS on people you don't know in real life is not something I agree with, says 22-year-old Barber follower and graduate student Kennedy, who lives in West Virginia. Although Kennedy characterizes some of Barber's methods as extreme and actively avoids his snark videos, she ultimately views him as a force for good. Whether you like his methods or not, Josh is making noise and people are paying attention, but people are paying attention for the wrong reasons. Now, I think it's awesome that they interviewed some fans of Josh because she obviously wanted to have a well-rounded article, have other sides to this, and I think that's great to get some viewpoints from a fan of his. It's very interesting, though, that this person does not agree with the CPS stuff. Are you guys ready for this? This is absolutely hilarious. Although Barber is happy to make noise and speak freely on his channel each week, love the shade, he did not want to talk to Input about the allegations surrounding his behavior. Joshua is not interested in answering any of your questions, says a press person for Barber. Have a nice day. Oh my gosh. When I saw that, that is hilarious. Let me show you guys real quick who Josh's press person is, okay? You guys, this is Josh's press person. Dude, I cannot believe he tried to pretend that he had a press person. If anyone is Josh's press person, it's him in a fucking wig, dude. Like, you don't have a press person, Josh. Now, I find it very interesting that he declined the interview. Like I said, it's very clear that this woman wanted to have a well-rounded article, and so it didn't come off one-sided. And of course, people are going to say now that it's one-sided. But Josh would not do an interview. He would not comment. Now, let me tell you guys this. He's leading the movement. He's fighting for this cause, yet he declines to talk about his movement in a huge article with a magazine. Why is that? If I was leading a movement, I would want to talk about it. I would have a defense ready. I would have receipts. I would be ready to explain to people the misunderstandings and why, these people are just haters and liars. But he doesn't even do that. He only wants to talk about his cause from the safety of his own channel with his echo chamber and cult followers. He can't actually have a real conversation. He's never done a debate with anybody. He won't interview with anybody that is not on his side. He's a fraud and he's a complete joke. You would think the leader of this movement would be ready to talk about this great stuff that he's doing. But he didn't. He declined to comment. And I find that absolutely hilarious. So then we come to the end of the article, which is a comment from Sharon about him, just perpetuating hate. And it's scary, and she's scared to see where it goes. And I agree with that. I feel like he's dangerous. He needs to be handled a certain way. Now, I know people love to criticize that some go too hard on him, that some are turning into him, etc. I don't agree with that because Josh is an extreme case. He is not just a, surface level problematic channel that, a 10-year-old tweet of racism was exposed. He is a serious problem. He has a cult. He has stands that will do dangerous things. He does dangerous things. He is a huge problem and he needs to be called out. The heat and the pressure needs to be put on him. And this article coming out is so huge. I think it's great. I think she highlighted a lot of the important issues. Obviously, there's so many more, but you can only fit so much into one article. I think it was a really good piece. Had 3 different creators interviewed, 2 fans, all the receipts and the facts. Again, I will link the article down below. I will link the page of Jessica Lucas and all her articles down below. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. And I really think that this is amazing. It really is. Because it's not one of us that have just been banging our head against the wall, screaming into the void for months. It's an outside kind of thing, an outside magazine, Input magazine, and this writer noticed what's going on with Dad Challenge podcast and decided to do a piece on it. And people are noticing. Oh, before we go, there's a couple more things I need to show you guys. First, let's look over this Reddit post of Josh being extremely salty. So this is a Reddit post that is clearly Josh. Reads more like a lazy hit piece than actual criticism based in reality. And fucking LOL at quoting APOC twice. Also, anyone could find Brianna K's house on Google Maps with the info she released herself. Okay, first of all, a lazy hit piece more than actual criticism based in reality. Everything that was said there's proof of it. So, okay, bye. Back to Cohn. She and her mother released those revealing pics themselves that he circulated. I'm not sure what the goal is with that, other than to drive the point home that she's not being protected by those around her. Again, he's not being honest, because he didn't just circulate the pics. Like, he didn't just send them around. He zoomed in on her chest, a teenager's breasts. He zoomed in on to show her tattoo, passed it around on Facebook, sat on his channel with his 18-year-old son to look at her in lingerie on Instagram and talk about her. So again, he minimizes everything he does because he's a cult leader and his followers will eat it up. They will really believe that this was just a hit piece that's not based in reality, while they watch him do this stuff on his channel every single day. Also, it's hilarious how triggered he is by apoc. And then he, of course, talked about one of my little quotes, but didn't say my name because he's a salty motherfucker. Oh, here's how you know it's Josh right here. This statement. They just feel really bitter about them making money living their best lives, which they do. Making money? No, you mean literally feeding their kids in small bites to predators. He says stuff like that constantly. Moms are salivating. I'm going to put a video together of all the clips of him saying creepy shit like that. Seriously. Because he says it all the time, and it's weird. Feeding their kids to predators in small bites, that's absolutely disgusting. But anyway, it's absolutely hilarious. Now, Josh has not directly addressed this on his channel. I mean, we know that's him on Reddit. But it's really interesting because it seems to me like he doesn't want to bring more attention to it. But if people make videos and talk about it, then I think he will have to directly address it. And I'm hoping that he does, because I know he is so bitter and salty, especially because the creators who always call him out are in it. But take a look at this. I was browsing on eBay, looking for some stuff, and you guys will never believe what I came across. I've been meaning to show this to you. You're going to die. I found Dad Challenge Podcast swear pillow on eBay. It was being auctioned off for like $1. For $1. Nobody was bidding. Ooh, it was pretty sad. It's really scratchy and low quality and just pretty shitty, if you ask me. I couldn't believe somebody was trying to auction this on eBay for $1. I mean, the thing is so scratchy and rough, it feels like sandpaper. I can't believe Josh is scamming his fans into buying that swear pillow. And that's not even his actual swear pillow. The one he uses is a lot different. But aside from that, I found the wheel that Josh used to do. You know, the wheel that he used to spin for his members and Patreon members to win a prize and all that? I found the wheel. I made a few tweaks to it, though, so I really want to show you guys really quick what I did to it.
Yeah, baby.
I took his original wheel. I found the same music and everything. I made a few tweaks to it. Mine's way better. And it seemed like Pervert is the one that ended up winning. Go figure, you guys. I think mine is so much better. It's really weird that he doesn't do that anymore. Really interesting, but I'm glad I found it. So let me know what you guys think down below about this article. Any thoughts you have. Thank you so much. I hit 4K subscribers. And I am so amazed, appreciative, grateful of you guys. You guys have been with me, some of you, since the beginning. I have new subscribers, and I appreciate you all so much. I love this community of people that I have built around my channel. You guys are all amazing, and I couldn't ask for better subscribers. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.